The events of the past are told through the diaries of 19th-century magicians Rupert Angier and Alfred Bawden. The diaries are read by their great-grandchildren, Tait Angier and Andrew Westley, born Nicholas Bawden, who meet in the present day, with the two diary accounts being interspersed with events of Tait's and Andrew's framing story. Throughout the novel, Andrew's story is related to his childhood, being adopted, and his current job as a journalist. Tait's story is related to a traumatic event that happened when she was 5 years old, where she witnessed a small boy murdered by her father. This leads her to search for Andrew, whom she believes was the twin of the boy she witnessed die. As the diaries are read, the truth of what happened to Andrew's twin is explained by the history of Angier and Bawden. The central plot focuses on a feud between the magicians, begun in the fledgling years of their careers when Bawden disrupts a fake séance being conducted by Angier and his wife after they had conducted a previous one for one of Bawden's relatives. Bawden was upset that they had presented it as real when he realized it was an illusion. During the scuffle, Angier's pregnant wife Julia is thrown to the ground, resulting in a miscarriage. The two men are mutually antagonistic for many years afterwards as they rise to become world-renowned stage magicians, with the feud affecting the later generations of their families to come, including Tait and Andrew. Udharan Chinne. Bawden develops a teleportation act called the Transported Man, and later creates an improved version named the New Transported Man, which appears to move him from one closed cabinet to another in the blink of an eye without appearing to pass through the intervening space. The act seems to defy physics and puts all previous magic acts to shame. The reader learns that Alfred Bawden is actually not one man but two identical twins named Albert and Frederick, who share the identity of Alfred Bawden, secretly to ensure their professional success with the New Transported Man. Angier suspects that Bawden uses a double, but dismisses the idea because he thinks it is too easy. In the meantime, Angier had developed his own act and left his wife for his stage assistant, Olivia. Desperate to discover how Bawden's trick is performed, Angier sends Olivia to spy on Bawden. However, Olivia begins to love Bawden and they conspire to send Angier on a wild goose chase, thinking that the act relies on technology from the acclaimed inventor Nikola Tesla. After being contacted by Angier, Tesla eventually constructs a machine which Angier uses to develop an act called in a flash. Tesla's device teleports a human being from one place to another by creating an exact physical duplicate at a specified destination into which the person's consciousness is instantly transmitted, while the original body is left behind, lifeless. Because of this method, Angier is forced to devise a way to conceal the original bodies whenever the trick is performed. He clinically refers to these near-lifeless shells in his diary as the prestigious. Angier's new act is as successful as Bawden's. The infuriated and obsessed Bawden attempts to discover how in a flash is performed. During one performance, he breaks into the backstage area and turns off the power to Angier's device, mistakenly believing the generator powering it is about to catch fire and light the theater ablaze. The subsequent teleportation is incomplete and both the duplicated Angier and the prestige Angier survive as separate persons after this incident, though the duplicate seems to lack physical substance while the original feels increasingly weak physically. The original prestige Angier fakes his own death as part of a previous plan to put behind his public persona of a magician, and returns as the heir to his family estate of Caldlow House without any publicity. While there, he becomes terminally ill. Angier had discovered Bawden's secret as a twin prior to the accident that created his duplicate. Angier's duplicate, feeling alienated from the world by his ghostly form and consumed with thoughts of revenge, attacks one of the Borden twins before a performance. However, Borden's apparent poor health, age, and the duplicate Angier's resurgent sense of morality cause him to stop short of murdering the twin. It is implied that this particular Borden twin dies a few days later, and the incorporeal Angier travels to meet the original prestige Angier, now living as the 14th Earl of Calderdale. They come into possession of Borden's diary, courtesy of a disgruntled third party in need of money, but publish it without revealing the twins' secret. Shortly afterwards, the corporeal Angier dies and his ghostly duplicate uses Tesla's device one last time to teleport himself into the body, hoping that he will either reanimate it and become whole again or kill himself instantly and so reunite with his other self in death. In the final section of the novel, Kate and Andrew's mystery is revealed. Andrew Westley goes into the Angier family vault and finds all of Rupert Angier's near lifeless shells, the prestiges, labeled with the date and place they were created. Andrew also finds a prestige of a small boy labeled Nicholas Julius Borden, with his place of creation listed as Caldlow House. It is then understood that Andrew himself never had a twin. When Kate and Andrew were children, their families had met in an attempt to mend the rift between them. However, during an argument, Kate's father had cast the young Nicholas Borden into the Tesla device, rendering the prestige Nicholas Borden lifeless on the ground and creating the duplicate who later became Andrew Westley. It is also revealed to Kate Angier and Andrew Westley that Angier's attempt to become whole again was successful, and some form of Rupert Angier had continued to survive in the Caldlow house to the present day.